The Bruins finally get some 5-on-5 offense and beat the Flyers. I'm Evan Marinofsky here inside TD Garden for the Bruins home opener on Thursday night after a huge 5-4 win over the Flyers in a shootout of all things. But before we get to the story of the game, I just have to say how weird it was, how crazy it was not having fans here. And just, these big plays happen, these big saves by Rask and by Carter Hart, and these, goals almost go in or they do go in, and there's just no reaction. There's just no reaction. Even the goal horn after Jack Studnicka's first goal of the game, first career goal, took so long to come on. It was the weirdest thing. But why don't we get into the big story of the game? And the big story is the 5-on-5 offense has returned. It has returned. It was gone for 11 periods, but it is back. And it all seems to stem from what Bruce Cassidy spoke of after the game, as it seemed like he really yelled at his guys to get them going, to tell the veterans, let's go. And that's what they got. Charlie Coyle came up big in the third period. Nick Ritchie scored a goal as he's continued his hot streak. Jack Studnicka gets his first. Brandon Carlo rips home his first of the season, one you don't often see. As I tweeted, it should be a national holiday every time Brandon Carlo scores. But I think the real story of tonight's game is you saw what the Bruins can be. The third period offensively was a Bruins best case scenario of events. Secondary scoring, your primary guys, assisting, the power play looking really good, Rask making some big saves. Let's pretend that third goal didn't go in through his legs so we can have this. But it really was the Bruins at their best. That is what the Bruins absolutely can be. Not to mention they also were solid on defense in that period. Obviously, they had some goals going in that period as well. But for the most part, for the whole game, for that matter, for the first 4 games, they've been very solid defensively. But offensively, that is the Bruins that we expect. That's the Bruins they should be. That's what everyone wants them to be. That's what they should be. And that's what we saw. And for the first time all season, you can look at that third period and say, if they played like that all the time, they would be a very good team. Not to say they aren't, but they would be an even better team. And I think when you really, really dive deep into it and take a good look at, how they scored those goals, it was just shots. Charlie Coyle, Cassidy mentioned this after the game, he didn't try to make a play on his goal. He just turned around and shot it. Nick Ritchie just finishing a chance in front. Jack Studnicka just going to the front of the net. Brandon Carlo just letting one rip from the point. It's simple as that. We've seen the Bruins try to get too perfect. Through the first 2 periods, I swear, if you guys were at this game, you would have been booing out of your mind. People yelling, shoot, from the Mass Pike. This was a team that, a lot of offensive zone time and no goals. And the issue was they were looking for the perfect play. And in the third period, they threw it out the window and said, we are just going to score by just throwing it on net and seeing what happens. And it worked out. So to me, the story of tonight's game obviously is that they get a big win. They're finally getting these shootout wins. They score 5-on-5, but that's the Bruins team that you should expect. That is the Bruins team that you should 100% expect. And that's the game. That is the whole gist of this game. If you'd like to see some more coverage, Mariah and I did a long video on this game, sort of a post-game show. More press conferences will be up from tonight's game. I will have an article out as well. Going to have a lot of different stuff for you, so make sure to follow along with us on Twitter at Bruins CLNS and subscribe to Bruins Rinkside.